You know what? It half works out that I can't go live because I probably would have just bent your ear back talking. I've come up with a moniker and I think I kind of like it. I think I like it. Oh, I think I like it. I'd love for you guys to see the ocean behind me, but I'm the ocean girl, or water girl. I call it the ocean. The lake behind me. I'm the water girl, so I'm going to be watching it. You'll kind of be listening and watching me. But I just wanted to express the sincere desire that I have to help other people be successful. You know, I don't know how to, I'm one of those people that come from the school, you teach a man how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime, but if you give a man a fish, he's only going to eat for one night. And I'm watching all the things that are happening, and it's happening everywhere around the world, right? There's a bigger picture. Me and my business partner was talking about this today. You know, there's a bigger picture that's happening all around us. And for those that are spiritually inclined, which I am, you know, we know what, you know, we see it, right? We see it clear as day. And, you know, this is the time that you really start sticking to the fundamentals and keeping things in order, right? Doing things the right way. I often say God, family, career. Even with me standing out here at this location. I'm going to head over to the gazebo, but even with me standing out here at this location, you know, I still got to keep it first, right? I pray, and, you know, and then I get my day started. And I am fortunate enough to be able to spend my day out here in these beautiful, serene gardens, right? Because peace is important for me. Serenity is important for me. I'm on a healing journey. And, you know, by the grace of God, many of you guys know my story. And I actually went live with it on a podcast yesterday. And so, you know, I definitely don't want to ever exploit my story. I do not want to exploit it. And if I ever get to a point or anyone feels that I am, that is totally not my intention. Never will be, okay? But I do want to celebrate because these are things that everybody's facing in one way, shape, or form, right? It's tapping us on the shoulders. If it's not cancer, it's ALS, it's dementia, right? It's diabetes. It's all these different things that are affecting us. So for me, I keep trying to celebrate those things. And while I'm battling, you know, I unfortunately have to say that I think that my stress levels were a culprit in what my body did in developing this cancer and having it such an aggressive form of it. So when you think about that, then you got to think of how do you protect yourself? How do you strengthen your body to fight against all these things that are coming against you, right? Well, serenity is a big one. Having peace of mind, not stressing. And that's where I start looking at business opportunities like the one that I have, because we all know we need something, right? Like I said, some of us go real hard. We swinging. You know, we've done Lyft. Some people have done the Uber Eats. Some people have done grocery deliveries. Some people have done, you know, some people have done a little side thing here or there. It didn't hurt, but what did it do? It did require your time, right? It required your time. And if you're doing anything that required gas or transportation, then it required a little bit of money too. Now, did they give it back to you in the end and you probably made some? Absolutely. But when you balance out how much you were spending versus how much you were making, they were giving you just enough to finance their own operations. They never gave it to a point where you can really flourish and make this a thing. Because if it did, guess what? You know how many people would have taken one of those rideshare programs or food delivery services and put all they you know, folks on under their account, or helped them get their account set up and showed them how to spray and run, right? It wasn't designed that way. So people have found out that, you know, it's a good way to try to make it, but that's all you're going to do, right? It's going to finance the right now that you need. It's not taking care of any long-term needs unless you can really figure out how to stay focused. And, you know, and that's a possibility. I'm not saying that it's not. So when you think about getting your time back, when you think about needing a little bit of extra income, when you think about needing money, especially with the layoffs and things that are happening, this is an absolutely phenomenal way to go, okay? Do I need to repeat that again and put it in slow motion? If I knew how to do all that fancy stuff, I absolutely would, but I don't, so I can't, and I think for that reason you're probably grateful. But on the other hand, that means you have to sit here and listen to my monotone voice, because I need the excitement, the bubbly, that person that comes in and just keeps you going. Gets all excited. Yeah, boom, you get a car, you get a car. That's the level I'd love to be at. And then I really get your attention. But really, I just need to talk to you on a level of, I don't want to call it common sense, because sometimes, we talk about being passive aggressive and that narcissist and, all those kind of comments. But some of those things that are out there make you kind of tilt your head a little bit, like, well, wait a minute, hold on. So I don't want to say common sense is not so common, but I will say that sometimes the truth hurts, right? Sometimes the truth hurts, and the faster we can get through what the truth hurting does, then the faster we can get to the other side of where we need to be when it comes to fixing our current situations, right? It's not when we're drowning and now you're looking for somebody to throw you a life vest, and the life vest, you not only want the life vest to stop you from drowning, you want it to be a yacht, right? You want the life vest to turn into that Prince Charming overnight, and it's a yacht where you have all the butler service and everything else. Well, guess what? It doesn't work that way. Nothing works that way. What you see are these beautiful outputs that come at the end, but what you don't see is the blood, sweat, the grind, the tears, the frustration, the lack of motivation, the am I in the right, the questioning, right? You don't see all that happens behind the scenes, but I guarantee you it happens for those folks. That's why when they finally get there, they can receive it. That's why you see so many of these people that made this money, and you're like, I would be living my best life. You know why they're not? Because they know what the struggle felt like when they didn't have it, when they were trying to get it. So it makes you modest. It makes you think twice. It makes you move a little bit differently, because you know that to retain it, you have to make smart decisions, right? And you had to make a lot of smart decisions, and you had to make some tough decisions when you're in the struggle. So those are the things that we're able to do here with the business model that we have, okay? Now let me add another layer to that and say, not only are we able to help with that, that's what we look for. We're looking for other people that are just as interested in changing their situation, changing their lives, and getting more without having to do too much more, right? We want to keep it simple. Don't have me come and have to learn something and spend 12 hours on the computer, and I'm sitting there watching charts and, figuring out what to do and figure, I listen. I understand AI is all that, we got to learn all that stuff. I'm on board. I 100% am. Listen, I am. But right now, I do not have time to be figuring out a training course. I want it done and done. Now, can we do that? You absolutely can. Do I do that? Absolutely. And guess what happens? I got all these folks hitting me on my inbox because they want to charge for their services. So if you want to trade your money for services, then you can certainly do that, right? These people will have you laced up all day. Or you take the time to learn it. And I'm just of the school right now that with me being focused and having so many irons in the fire, that I have to look straight. I have to focus. And if that means that sometimes I have to get someone that's going to charge me, I think people are charging you to breathe the same air these days. But, if people want to charge me to help, get some of these things done, okay, well, guess what? That's what it is. Now, so how do you raise the capital to do that? That's where people are always stuck, right? And that's where I'll be back, and we'll talk about that using this model as a means of raising capital for what you really need. All right.